Recently, I was on a podcast with Nancy Grace about the killings in Moscow, Idaho. There were 4 students who were stabbed to death during their sleep. And I have some advice that I would like to propose to you viewers that may prevent this from happening to you. And here's the deal. When I was with the FBI, I taught murder investigations and sex crimes. And there's a lot of crossover between those two courses. And what I have learned is this, that often serial killers and rapists, general assailants against women, are motivated by visual triggers, and they are amplified in the predator by a biologic imperative to reproduce. That combination energizes them in a way that not everyone understands. In society, we see polar opposites. In the Muslim tradition, women are required to wear all kinds of coverings. One of the reasons for that is to prevent triggering of males. In the United States, we're different. We allow women to dress how they choose. And that's certainly appropriate from my perspective. But the difficulty is that in that particular Moscow, Idaho event, it's clear to me as a sex crime instructor and as a murder instructor, death instructor, this happened because someone was laying in wait for these individuals who lived in this housing apartment next to the college. Someone targeted them. And what that means to me is they laid in the woods over some period of time and watched the back of this house. Now, if you look at the back of the house, and I've seen drone footage, I have not actually been there, but it's clear that the windows in the back of the house had very little in the way of window coverings. What can happen is that individuals, you feel safe inside your room, and so you're not entirely clothed all the time. And in some cases, not at all, because you feel comfortable. But if you're displaying yourself to the exterior world in that sort of environment, you are putting yourself at risk. Because visually, men are stimulated. And if you have someone who is a predator in the neighborhood, he is looking for just that vantage point to sit and watch. And that allows him to prepare, because we know historically that stalkers, predators, they prepare. Now, there's another point here. Earlier, there was a dog killed, and I know that law enforcement is saying there's no connection. But typically, individuals who engage in these kinds of murders have to prepare for it. They have to have the sensation. They have to feel like they can really go through with it. And it's clear that this dog was skinned. Well, that uses a knife, and certainly there's likely to be a connection between the two. What I'm saying here is that's the preparatory act. Then because someone's been watching through your windows for a protracted period of time, they know when and where, and they've already formulated how. So, look, I don't care whether you choose to be fully covered in clothing or not, but I can honestly tell you that the evil in our world prepares for and utilizes your naiveness in a way that benefits them and not you. So if you want to reduce your risk, you've got to recognize that oftentimes predator target males will go to extremes to watch you while you're not clothed. And we see that today. Cameras are placed in various locations, but here in a college town, there's a lot of freedom. And that draws these kinds of predators. I simply am telling you that you've got to be more cautious with, even though you may feel comfortable in your own room, you've got to be more cautious with what you display to the outside world. I hope this helps you. If you have questions, feel free to contact my office. You can find us at www.dalecarsonlaw.com. Thanks.